Hello, welcome to the year in review of the SwoleBenji channel. We're going to talk about all the games that I've made guides and videos for in 2024 and discussing if I will continue to play or cover them. Now, if you're a subscriber and you subscribe for a specific game, this is where you'll get to know, oh, is he going to make more videos for my favorite game or not? Let's go. And yes, this is low budget MS Paint style. So Balers Gate 3. Now, Balers Gate 3 did very well on my channel. Surprisingly, it took a long time for videos to pop off. I'm talking, I would make a video, it would sit on like 200 views, and then like half a year later, it would suddenly have 10,000 views. So, there's not too much more in this game to cover, but if I do in 2025 decide to make guides for this game, it's going to be less min-maxy and less tryhardy, because I have so many comments from you guys, so many comments that complain about like getting the early Lazel sword or getting the Act 3 sword in Act 1. A lot of you guys had trouble with that. A lot of people didn't understand about the short and long res system, so getting the early lightning bow for Asterion here, a lot of people had difficulty with that. There was so many little small things that people just had problems with. And there is some optimizations to that guide. There's been a bunch of patches that have fixed a lot of the exploits in those guides. So if I make another full game guide, it's going to be way more minimalistic. It won't be for Honor Mode, because Honor Mode's stupid. It's really dumb. I hate, like, Iron Man, full loot, hardcore, you die once, it's game over, all your time goes to waste kinds of games. I just personally don't like them. So, future guides would be way less tryhardy, with way less best-in-slot stuff for the early game. I would still obviously build for the late game, but the guide would be how to just get to Act 3 as fast as possible so you can get your best in slot, and maybe change the main character from a healer role to a more offensive role, because on easier difficulties, you don't need a dedicated healer in this game, it's just too easy. So, you know, if I get bored enough or have enough free time or there's literally nothing else to cover, no new games, I will definitely give Balers Gate 3 another revisit. And just a quick showing of how Balers Gate compares over Albion, which is one of the games on my channel that I tend to play a lot of. You can see here, it is a massive, it's like triple the viewer base. Alright, so, you know, when it comes down to it, I have to do this for money, and I'm very close to, like, being, like, homeless again, so, you know, if I suddenly drop Albion for Balers Gate, you know why. It's money. Next up is Lighty Frontier. I only made a video for this game because I literally had nothing else to play, and the devs were nice. And when devs are nice, I tend to be nice back. When people treat me nicely, especially game devs, because I really don't get treated nice by game devs these days, I'm like, yeah, I can make you a video. And while the game was okay, it was a little too slow for me. There's not enough player base, viewer base, searches. The game is effectively a dead game, so I will not be covering this. So the 27 of you that subscribe for this game, you can unsubscribe if you want, man. I'm sorry. Alright, Skull and Bones, I'm also not going to play this. Again, this is just because Ubisoft is really nice to me in emails. They give me games for free and early, and so I tend to play them. And Skull and Bones was really fun until you get to the end game. And then the end game sucked, the PvP sucked. I didn't care about the story or anything. There was nothing really to grind at end game. And improving your ship and, you know, getting the healer and the tank build and blah, blah, blah. There's no point as a solo player. The game just fell off for solo play. But I still have, like, I think, like, 15 game keys of this to give away. I won a contest of who could find all the landmarks first. I was, like, in the top 10. And, yeah, I got real lucky with that contest because I went AFK and the ocean just blew me into one of the locations. Like, I went to go make food, and I came back to my computer, and I was just at one of the locations I was supposed to find randomly. And I was like, oh, well, that's convenient. So I really got lucky there. But yeah, I still have game keys to give away. You need the Ubisoft game client. You can't play this on Steam or Epic. Sorry, bros. And, you know, with how Ubisoft is in the future, like, they might be dead in 2025. They might be full dead. They might be bought out by Tencent. I don't know. But Ubisoft's always been really nice to me, and, you know, so I always play their games. But yeah, I won't be covering this game in 2025. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people sub for this, and I just want to show off one achievement. So this is a kind of an SEO measurement tool. Now, when I searched the game, this is when the first week the game was out. I was the top channel for Skull and Bones. I was the #1 YouTuber for Skull and Bones. I don't stream on Twitch though, so unfortunately I wasn't used in any of the promotional material or anything. But you can see I'm beating the Rad Brad, who has 13.5 million subscribers. He gets so many views over me, but my videos surfaced above his because of the guides that I was putting out, and I worked real hard on these guides. I literally had to find the secret shill employees that were pretending to be Twitch streamers, and I had to watch like weeks worth of their streams during beta and alpha to see what they were doing, because I mean they literally worked on the game just to figure out the game as fast as possible. So I just want to share this achievement. And you can see in this graph that Skull and Bones is way below Albion Online, which means it's below Balers Gate, so I'm better off just playing Balers Gate and Albion. Alright, next up is Manor Lords, and I just made a one-off guide video for this because it was super popular on Steam, and I happen to just, you know, anytime there's a popular game, I just email the devs. And the publishing company, Hooded Horse, is like the nicest publishing company ever. Those guys are amazing, and so they gave me the game for free, and so I made a big-ass guide video about it. And unfortunately, this market was already cornered by like people that played these types of games, and their guides are honestly better than mine. And what I did was I took their guides and improved it because that's how I do things. And so I had the monopoly for like a little while, but then they went and improved my guide, and now they have the better guide, and so on and so forth. So again, this isn't really my type of game because it's single player, and I get really lonely, and like I use video games as kind of a social outlet. But essentially, I'm not going to be covering this game in 2025 unless it's made by like a single guy, and I doubt the publishing company would pay me. I don't think they have money to pay, and I would rather do it pro bono because of how nice they are. I just can't afford to play these indie games at the moment, so I'm sorry. And you can see on this graph why I choose to make videos, right? Like, oh wow, Manor Lords is double Albion almost. Time to make a video for it. So again, I have to do this to survive. Alright, next up is CorPunk, and I want to talk about CorPunk for a little bit here, because it's a game that I enjoyed, not anymore, but I enjoyed logging into just to gather and craft stuff, right? But there's no market, there's no auction house. This game, there's almost nothing to do for solo players other than hit level 20 and gather. That's all you're good for in this game as a solo player. The chat Jannies, not the chat Jannies because they don't exist yet, but the Discord Jannies for this game treated me very unfairly and very biased. And because of that, I have reached out to the company. I've reached out to 2 other kind of shell companies that try to help advertise for the game. And I've even reached out to official support. I've emailed every single person in the company, their private emails, their public emails, every freaking body for this game. And I haven't gotten any word back other than an automated response from support that's like, oh, thank you for your ticket, we'll look into it. And it's been a month. It's been months. And because of the disrespect, and also I just want to point out, I got messaged by Mythic Talent, which is a talent agency that Asmongold works for, by the way, to literally get paid money to make guides for this game. And I told them, I will do it for free if you get me handwritten apologies from the Discord mods, right? And they just ignored me, so I emailed, Mythic Talent's CFO, CEO, and stuff. I forwarded those emails, and I'm like, and I still got ignored. So I'm getting ignored by 3 talent agencies, by everyone that works this game. And unfortunately, this game, the numbers are so bad. I have to show you. They're so bad. Alright, well, I guess I deleted it. I did plan a video to kind of mock the game a bit, but I guess I decided to move on. I had screenshots of the Twitch page for CorPunk where there's like 8 people streaming it, or there's no one streaming it, or there's like 10 people streaming it, and they were actually playing a different game that wasn't even CorPunk. Just trying to be, oh, I'm on the CorPunk list, look at me, right? And so this game, it's not just the devs or the Discord Jannies. And by the way, Janny is short for janitor. It's 4chan term. It's lingo. If you're a regular on the channel, you know that I say this all the time, all right? But essentially, as a solo player, there's nothing left to do besides gather at level 20. There's nothing to do. And you don't get any of the benefits that the group players have. And here's the thing. All the people that played the alphas and the earlier parts of the releases, they all formed a huge friendship circle, and they all worked together to keep you out of the good loot PvP zones. And so if you're a solo player that didn't already make friends in the alphas, you're screwed. You're just completely screwed, all right? The game is essentially full dead. Like, people aren't even RMTing this game. It's so dead. And it is a real shame because I did enjoy the gathering aspect, kind of, sort of. Just, you know, it was something different to play. It was an Albion Online kind of alternative. But you can see here that even at its peak when the game launched, it still didn't even touch Albion Online, and it's already flatlined. Like, it's already down here at, like, 5, and before launch it was at 2 or 1. And even during the little alpha, the public ones, like it's as popular as it was when it was still in alpha, so... It's dead game. I can't monetize this. I can't make money doing this. I've actually... I want to know your opinions, guys. Should I members only restrict my guides for this game? I am the only channel that has made a full 1 to 20 full quest guide, right? And I know that back in the day in WoW Vanilla, there was a Jonah. Jonah did a leveling guide like that, and he paywalled it. I don't know why, but I'm thinking about paywalling my guide just because this game has disrespected me so hard. I have not seen as much, like, there's one other company, and that's PAX Day, we'll talk about them next, but this company has really, like, just gave me the middle finger, essentially. Like, I just want to show you the Reddit page. There's 3 people on the CorPunk Reddit right now. I'm one of them. That means there's only 2 other people looking this game up right now. Should I buy 17 comments? I bet you that they say no. Download is blocked due to malware. Oh, jeez. Like, you have, like, one YouTuber trying to newsjack Deadman Fred who uses AI assets. That's the channel that's never going anywhere. And quote me on that. If you watch this video 10 years from now, go check out Deadman Fred and see where he's at. Let's see where he's at 10 years from now. Now, I want to mention, I have a key to give away for this game, and I thought about just using the key for myself on an alt account. But it's not. This game isn't even worth trolling. This game isn't even worth shitposting in. And right now, the devs actually said in their Discord that they don't have the technology to even moderate their in-game chat. So people are saying the most heinous of shit. And at first, everyone thought, "Oh, this company is pro freedom of speech. Finally, you know, fighting against the woke agenda of bad, you know, gamer words bad." But no. They fully plan to ban and punish people for saying naughty words in their game. They just don't have the technology to do it yet, right? And oh man, now unfortunately that's just how it is. But it is what it is. But yeah, I have a game key to give away for this game. And if you're wondering, how do you get a game key from me? Well, for one, join the Discord, pass the questionnaire, be my friend, get chat rank. It's really that easy. So next up is Fortnite, and I made one video on Fortnite. It didn't do that well. However, this is my girlfriend's main game, and I do like to play video games with my girlfriend, so it would be something I would want to monetize, but I'm, like, too far gone. I have old monitors from 2010. I can't play shooter games because everything ghosts and blurs, and there's a huge delay on when I'm actually shooting versus where the person actually is. My internet sucks. I'm old, and shooting games are not my forte anymore. You really lose a lot of reaction time, and I just don't want to get good at games anymore. I want to get knowledgeable at games. I like knowledge is power. I don't like repetitious muscle memory, gotta train 16 hours a day to get good, Sweat Lord style. I did that as a teenager and as a young adult. I'm done doing it. So, unfortunately, like, Fortnite would not be a game that I could really do much on. I still think that there is a market in this game for the fastest way to level up an account, and the problem is a bunch of content creators already use those keywords that are bigger than me for this game, but their info is just shilling their stupid custom map that isn't the best way to gain XP in this game. I don't know. I just don't like all the copyrighted goofy characters, really. Like, why is Optimus Prime here? Like, who gives a shit? Right? But the point is it's a game if I could monetize it, I would have, alright? And I don't even know why I'm showing you this. Fortnite completely mogs Albion 62 times over. It's a super massive game. It's one of the more popular games. Next up is PAX Day. I've long uninstalled this game. This company also treated me like absolute dirt. I think they also got me banned off a website called Lurkit, which is how content creators get free game keys. I never used Lurkit. I never claimed any keys on that site in the years I spent on it. It was just fun to look around and be like, oh, I could download this little slop game. But essentially, these guys... like, they full-blown, like, you know, banned me off the Discord. I didn't break any rules. I even made a whole video showing I didn't break any rules, because I had people go into this server and look at my message history. It was all very tame, very normal stuff, just talking about the game. These guys had it out for me from the beginning. They never invited me to any of their alphas or betas. Specifically, I had to get keys from other YouTubers. I had to go to other YouTubers and be like, do you have any spare keys? And they're like, oh, SwoleBenji, oh my god, you're like 10 times my size. Yes, here, have a key. Mwah, right? And that's the only way I got to really play it. And then I had, you know, a really good friend here, Boss Lobbies, buy me he bought me the $100 version of the freaking game. And he went off to go work on Call of Duty stuff, unfortunately. I haven't talked to him in like 4 months. I miss that guy. He was really freaking cool. I'm still in his server, so if he wants to say anything. But essentially, yeah, so I duoed this game. It was, I think it was okay fun. It was very jank and, you know, unfinished. You know, it was just Unreal Asset slop. But the game never got popular enough to really have the day before falling out. And it's not a game I'm going to play, but I do want to mention a channel that literally got bought out by this company to play it, and that channel is doing horrendously. Now, I'm not going to show you the channel because the dude is very litigious with his copyright striking, allegedly. But this is a YouTuber bigger than me by double my sub count, well over double my sub count, and he's only getting 130,000 freaking views a month from PAX Day. And he is very clearly a shill for the company. He is very clearly being paid by them. And the dude is, you know, he's all in. And he actually uploaded an anime video today, and it's doing like 4 times better than his PAX Day videos. And you hate to see it, but hopefully he's getting a bag out of this. But at the same time, this channel used to mog me in New World, right? And now he's just dead. Oh, no. And you can see on this chart, PAX Day is like completely freaking dead. It never spiked up above Albion, but I just want to play it because it's something new and different and interesting. But they kept making patches in PAX Day. They like wiped the world multiple times over and nerfed everything and made it even harder of a grind than it already was. And it's got like an average of 800 people playing it, dude. It's dead as hell. All right, so New World. I didn't cover this last year, but it is a pretty big video on my channel. So I want to go and talk about that. Now, for those that don't know, I got banned on this game for saying something very silly in the chat. It wasn't because I abused speed glitches or dupes or anything of the sort. It was simply because someone was talking about police brutality, and I was red-pilling them and saying something like, well, if the majority of arrests from police are men, does that mean the police are sexist? It's just a crap post. It's just a silly troll post in the world chat, you know? And some Janny from New World got way upsetty spaghetti over that and gave me the ban hammer. So, now, here's the thing, though. In New World, the person that bought me the game, I gave everything to him before I quit. I gave my entire account, all my wealth, all my items, everything to this guy before I quit. And then I just shit posted in the chat because there was nothing to do. And the server had like 300 people on it. And currently this game is dead as hell. It's got an average of 10,000 people. And that's after all the updates and paid DLC and shilling and advertising. Right? And I'm going to check it right now. I'm going to check, let's see, the player count. And it's funny because they hid the player count on individual servers, which makes it even harder to play now. Like, what are you supposed to pick, right? Which server? Yeah, here it is. 11. No, yeah, I'm not using an ad blocker. I'm using incognito mode, so you don't hit me with advertisements that are local to me. Anyway, 11,248 players. It's dead. It's so dead. And what's funny is that the game was called New World, and then they redubbed it New World Eternal because the search term New World, they couldn't get the SEO for their own game. They're literally Amazon, and they couldn't get the SEO for it because everyone searches New World Order, NWO, etc., etc. So they had to make it New World Eternal. So you can see here, it's like completely dead until they redubbed it, and then it jumped up whenever they released for consoles, and their big update, and then it immediately died. Here's October. And then here's November. It took 1 month for the game to go below Albion. 2 months, right? And it's dead, right? And it had an upswing because they paid a bunch of Twitch people to shill the game once again, but it's going back down once again. It's dead game territory, guys. My videos are still relevant for this game. They're still relevant. All right, another game I didn't cover in 2024 is Starfield. Now, I just want to point out that I didn't really enjoy Starfield. Single-player games aren't really my thing. However, this game was too big not to cover, and I happen to be one of the top YouTubers for it. And this thing changed how I looked at life, because this thing made, like, one Starfield video would make more money than all of my Albion videos combined. And it really changed how I looked at YouTube and content creation. Unfortunately, it's hard to make videos for a game I don't enjoy. And yes, there was a DLC this year that I could have covered, and the company gave it to me for free. but I just, like, there's no one searching for this game. The only people still playing this are console plebes and people that are, like, way behind on the tech, and my guides are still relevant for them. So there's nothing new to make for the game. I don't care about the DLC. The DLC doesn't even really let you min-max anyway. There's, like, nothing really worth getting in the DLC, and the DLC story sucks, so it is what it is. But definitely, yeah, anytime Todd Howard makes a game, I gotta jump on that stuff, because this thing, like I'm telling you, like, one Starfield video makes more than all my Albion videos combined. That really makes me feel insignificant, that I've wasted years of my life playing the wrong game, right? But it's wild. It's crazy. And more, like, bigger YouTubers are sharing how much money they're actually making. Like, Critical, you know his, what's his name, Penguin Zero, Charlie, that YouTuber, Twitch streamer, he shared that, like, I don't make anywhere close to what he makes, but he streamed this game for 4 hours. It's his highest earning single stream ever, and it made him like $90,000 or something crazy. And it's like, dude, if I can just earn 1% of that, which would be $900. If I could earn $900 by playing a video game for 4 hours, I would live like a king. I would have the easiest life ever. I could afford food and rent and even a house one day. That's insane. That's something I've never even come close to. So I've got to get 1% of Asmongold or Critical's power level. Just 1% is all I need to have an easy life. And it's like an anime isekai. But yeah, I'm not going to be making videos for Starfield because the popularity is gone. And you can see that somehow Starfield is still above Albion Online, but barely, right? Not by a whole lot. And in this regard, you'd be like, well, why aren't you making Starfield videos? It's clearly more profitable than Albion videos, and I'll show you. So this is how many monthly searches are for a search term. The search term being Albion Online. So right now we're at 574,000. This number is actually up. Just a few months ago, this was 250,000. So the game's making a slight resurgence, right? And then if we go to Starfield, and also I want you to note that there's low competition. There's not a lot of YouTubers that can really compete with me or in the space. But for Starfield, the search term is almost the exact same with a high competition. So this is why I'm not doing Starfield. So next up is Helldivers 2. Now, I would like to make guides for this game. However, the one guide that I did make did not perform well on my channel. And I also made a guide for this game on another channel. And that guide got very negative press because I was essentially telling people that they're playing the game wrong and that their way of farming is stupid and they should just cheat or RMT to get ahead in the game. And that's true. Like, if you want to play 200 hours in something you can do in 5 minutes, like, but the player base doesn't want to hear that, right? The player base doesn't like hearing that they're stupid and they're inefficient. So there's a lot of competition for guides and stuff on this game, and even though if I ran all the numbers and made like the coolest, highest edited, pro democracy videos and stuff for this game, it's oversaturated, and I don't think it's gonna last. Like people are playing it right now. Like 100,000 people are playing it on Steam right now. But that's gonna drop to 20K once they get bored. And the new content, like these new enemies, suck. They're boring to fight against. I'm not enjoying myself. And every single time that I personally play, it's just Chinese cheaters. I go into a game, they have infinite ammo. They're flying around. They're spamming endless stratagems, which are supposed to have like a 3 to 6 minute cooldown, and they're just dunking them left and right all over the battlefield. And it's just like, well, there's no reason to play because they're not punishing the cheaters. And like, I can join a random Chinese lobby and get maximum super credits and maximum everything, which is like, you can cheat the game's premium currency. It's stupid. And you can see it is above Albion, but when it flatlines, it's like barely above Albion, right? But when there's a new content patch, boom, it shoots up, and then it goes back down. It's never getting back to these levels when the game came out, ever, right? And you can see it has way higher search volume, and it's medium competition, which means it's still pretty damn good to do. However, like, all the stuff that I would make videos for, like, the best way to farm, samples and stuff, it's already been done by much larger channels than me with editing teams and shilling teams and everything else. So it's just something that I can't really compete in. So once human, I've covered everything that I wanted to cover in this game. There's really no other guides that I can really make. unless I really just want to go over every single build. But there's other channels that have multi-accounts, and they've already beat me to that anyway. It's not something that I really personally care about. The new updates suck. The gameplay loop is insufferable. It's only fun when you can play novice servers, and the game is really unfun solo. I played, as a duo with Boss Lobby's the guy that bought me PAX Day. We played this together too, and it was fun as a duo. We can get more done, but as a solo player, you're just at the mercy of the larger guilds that, do the big monster fights, and it's not fun. It's very lonely. It's a very lonely game, and just the PvE it's too easy. Like, killing the boss monsters and even the dungeon, mega bosses solo it's once you have the game figured out and you have the correct build, that's all it is. It's just going through the motions, and there's nothing really like to use your maximum geared character to go do. And if you play on a PvP server, it's just you get zerged down. There is literally nothing you can do against that. And this game, it's still doing all right. My videos on it are still doing all right. I just personally have nothing left to cover before the game, and all the YouTubers that have mained this game, their channels are dying. So it's just not for me. And you can see here that once human, it spiked way up here. So of course I made the switch and covered the game, right? And then it went way down here, and it's floating above Albion, but barely. Star Wars Outlaws. Now, I thoroughly enjoyed the game. I thought it was an okay game. 99% of people didn't. 99% of people were like, oh, it's woke slop, the game sucks, the game's boring. I'm not very well versed in single-player games. I thought it was okay. Also, Ubisoft is very nice to me, so my opinion is skewed towards the positive. However, people did not like this game, and I never even bothered to finish it. I did kind of get bored a little midway through, and I didn't mainly finish it because I can't afford to finish it. I literally, like, if I'm not getting views for a game after a while, I just can't play it. I can't afford to play games that I want to play. And, this game has, again, low player counts, low search counts, very low interest. But the problem with making videos for a Star Wars game is that I'm competing not only against other Star Wars dedicated channels, all right? Like, a channel dedicated to everything Star Wars beats me in SEO, video ranking, etc., etc., but also the specific gaming channels that only do Star Wars games also massively outrank me. So it's very hard to get my videos to surface, and this being a single player game, there is no best start or best way to like compete with other players. I covered the Sabbat card game, which everyone was getting confused about. That did well. I showed how to level up quick and farm money quick, and that didn't do as good as it should have. So people just didn't really care about farming those things in this game, I guess because they felt like they didn't need to. And you kind of don't, I guess, if you just want to play with a weaker character, which you just lower the difficulty and then you're fine, right? So again, this game, I just can't afford to play it, and it doesn't have the views. The views aren't there for me. And yeah, I started a full playthrough of the game and then abandoned it because the views just weren't there. I'm not like a Let's Play channel. People don't watch my full playthroughs of games, sadly. And yeah, I know there's new stuff coming out in spring for this game, but Ubisoft might be dead by then. We don't know. Who knows? So here's the chart. You can see Albion is basically flatlined. Even before the game came out, it's still competing because, again, it's Star Wars. Boom, look at that big popularity spike. But again, I'm not a Star Wars channel. I couldn't compete with those guys. And yeah, it's flopped down here. It's still above Albion, but not by much. Now, Deadlock's a game that I really enjoy, and I spent 2 months solving the entire game. I have guides for every single character. I have generalized guides. I have every guide that you could possibly think of for this game because it's a game that I thoroughly like, and I would love to main the game and play it all the time. But because I'm not an esport twerp, and because the game suddenly went from like 200,000 people to 12,000 in the matter of the 2 months that I played it, the game is essentially dead. Now, technically, the game hasn't released yet. It's just a technical demo, I guess. So, and it is a Valve game, but we have seen Valve games die, like Artifact, and there's a few others. But I really hope that this game becomes like a main game, like it becomes the next Dota 2, it becomes the next Counter-Strike. But that's a big gamble that I can't gamble on right now because I can't afford to. If I was, sitting pretty with plenty of money in the bank, I would just play Deadlock. I would just be a Deadlock channel until the game succeeded, and if it didn't become the next Fortnite, oh well, I tried, right? But again, it's still a game that I really like, and maybe every once in a while I'll log in and have some fun. It's also really fun to troll. I have a lot of fun trolling this game. But yeah, I hope it does well, and I hope it actually ever comes out. I think it's a very soulful game. It's a very well done game, even for a technical alpha demo. I think it's amazing. I think it's a very amazing game. But I have covered everything I can cover on this game. There's nothing left to really cover unless I start making multiple different types of builds. And there's no, like, for MOBAs, I like just sticking to the same build regardless of who I'm up against. Just a generalized build. And, you know, all my guides are searchable in the game, too. If you don't want to watch the videos, you just type SwoleBenji into the guides, you know, the build section of the game. And every single character has one that'll pop up. But yeah, unfortunately, I just can't afford to play it right now. But yeah, unfortunately, this is when I started playing, was in August. And I played it a little bit casually, and then around September, October, I'm like, let's go hard on videos. And look how fast it died. It just went, and all my videos basically came out in November for the game, or, you know, after it, you know, dropped below Albion. And because I'm not an esports guy, a lot of people, they go look up my rank or something. And because I'm a huge troll and I sabotage games, I don't play games to win, I play games to make memories. So I will, like, if one of my teammates is like, why aren't you team fighting? I will sabotage the rest of the ranked match to the point where I will make my team lose just to get back at the one guy, you know, mouthing off to me. Again, I'm from the ghetto, and we do things a little differently than you sophisticated house havers do. But you can see here, even though the game doesn't have the highest search counts, it has very high competition. So again, I'm competing against Overwatch channels, Dota channels, esport channels, and most little zoomers, most little zooms, that's all they care about. Gotta get good at the video game, dude, wow! Even though I have proven time and time again my build guides are much superior to those esport twerps that are, you know, high ranked, and I could still kick their ass if I played the game against them. I'm just not going to grind out my rank to the highest rank in a sweaty pre-made Discord to get there. I'm just not going to do it. I'm a solo player. And, like, I just want to give you a peek under the hood here. Like, you can see that, like, my Deadlock videos, almost all of them, I did not publish to subscribers because I didn't think they'd want to watch them. So these are all organic views from the search engine, right? For some reason, this one got 4-digit views. McGinnis, I don't know why, but probably because this character shares a name with Batman Beyond's main character. But, you know, these all are sitting on 3-digit views with, like, one comment. Like, Bebop Debuffer build guide, 377 views. And I spent, you know, almost a full week on each character, right? Learning each character. And these are all hour-long, fully detailed guide build vids. I think that the best build guide vids for each character, but people either aren't searching them, they're getting suppressed by the algorithm, people aren't clicking on them because I'm not some high-rank dude. I don't know. But you can see, like, I can just go fish in Albion and get 5.5k views, right? Again, here's all these Deadlock vids, 3-digit views. All right, I can just literally complain about Albion Online for 45 minutes and get 12,000 views. Why would I play Deadlock right now? Like, there's just no reason to. Like, I can literally make a Wojak video where I'm just like, Mom, why is Albion stupid? And get 5,000 views. Why would I spend weeks cultivating a build guide and then hours editing and filming and blah, 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 where I can just talk into a mic for 8 minutes? And then on the opposite spectrum, right, like this CorPunk video, this 6.5-hour CorPunk video, it took me like over 120 to 160 hours to make this video, you know, and it only got like 26,000 views. Now, I always make guides for myself, right, so the view counts don't really matter in that regard, but if I can't afford to play the game, then I can't play the game, so that making a guide for myself is irrelevant, but essentially, I was hoping CorPunk would do good, and so that I would use this guide on all my alt characters, but the game treated me like crap and the game's dead, so it is what it is. Alright, Path of Exile 2, I've already shared a video with my disgust for this game. I don't like the direction it went from Path of Exile 1. The game is in too early access. It's literally Tencent. It's not Chris Wilson anymore. It's Tencent, and, well, they're from China, and China ruins games. And it's not my cup of tea, but also, I would have to compete against every single Path of Exile content creator that has never, ever dropped the game since the first game has been in alpha. That is not a fight that I can win or give a crap about. And yes, the game is completely mogging Albion Online at this point. And yeah, the search counts for it and the player counts are insanely high. This would literally be the game to cover if I could, but even though competition is only medium, you know, which means the searches are way more than what the content creators are able to put out, it is just a game that I don't enjoy. if I genuinely hate the game, all right, I just want to mention, I talked about playing Starfield, a game that I did not enjoy. Starfield had triple these numbers, okay, and there was less competition. And there wasn't an army of content creator channels that have been playing a Starfield-esque game in the space for the past 10 years. So, again, also Starfield is way easier to figure out than Path of Exile. Path of Exile is a very complex game, and I played the game since Alpha, the first one at least. And so, yes, I did eventually figure out, and I have a video on my channel where I play Path of Exile 1, just a gameplay video. You can see that my builds are pretty crazy. Super tanky, ultra survival, high or very low budget, 23 million DPS, and you have maximum move speed. That's how I like to play Path of Exile. I don't like to play slow dungeon crawler Souls-like game. I don't enjoy it, and so I can't support it. Alright, Marvel Rivals. Now, I made a one-off video on this, a trolling video. The trolling videos don't do good on YouTube anymore, regardless of who uploads them, right? And I've been playing, I know I said I wasn't going to cover it, but I have been playing a little bit, and I like to mess around, just do stupid crap and piss off my teammates. Almost no one voice chats. It's a very lonely game. I don't care about ranking up, and the game gets very samey. Like, I can sit down and play this game for 8 hours straight, waste a whole day on it, but what am I going to do for this game? Make guides for it? Hey guys, here's how to play Storm, literally the lowest tier character that you could pick in the whole game. Here's how to play her and do well. No one cares. No one cares except, like, fans. And I'm not a Marvel channel. I'm not a comic channel. I'm not, like, a hero slop cape shit channel, okay? And, yeah, I could make a guide on Spider-Man. Wow, dude, play Spider-Man, right? But so has, like, 100,000 other people already, and it's not a game that I really care about, okay? I know the money's there, but it's also a Chinese game. It's NetEase. Now, I want to show you how small Marvel Rivals is compared to Fortnite. And here's Fortnite in the orange at the top, and here's Marvel Rivals in the blue at the bottom, okay? And yeah, we can compare it to Albion Online if you want real quick. And Albion Online, it's not flatlined. It's still there, right? And you can see the search counts are even higher than Path of Exile. So if I had to pick a game, it would be Marvel Rivals over Path of Exile especially. But still, it's I don't know. I might give a few guides a try and see how they do for views. Because I need money bad. I need money. I'm down bad, guys. Alright, so Albion Online, there's going to be like 4 updates in 2025. They're not even going to be that good. The game is mostly dead. The server splits ruined it. I haven't made a single friend playing this game in 5 freaking years. Why do I still play it? I don't know, man. There's nothing for me to even do. I log in and I'm bored. I have no reason to grind anything in the game anymore. I have, like, if I just had people to play with, I could just give them items and stuff. So if you want to be my friend, join the Discord server and pass the questionnaire, but 99% of people are not compatible with me, and therefore you most likely will fail the questionnaire and get kicked out. And right now, I have no Chad ranks to play with, nobody, because the people that did get grandfathered in before a questionnaire, which is all that really was on the server. I've removed them all for 2024 because they didn't play video games with me. They all had their own little friendship circles and stuff, and a few of them were starting to weird out. I guess they had too much tap water or something. I don't know what's going on, but this game it doesn't bring me joy. It does not bring me happiness. I don't have any friends. The devs hate me. Most of, the normies don't even want me to play it, and every time I cover another game and it does well, and I go back to this game, they just, like, make fun of me for it or something, like, what am I supposed to go back to? Like, everyone wants me to play WoW Classic again. I don't want to play WoW Classic. I did what I wanted to do in that game. I'm done with it. I've done what I wanted to do in Albion. I'm essentially done with it as well, because there's just nothing new to do, right? If they introduced, like, 30 new weapons and 20 new armors, I'd have that shit maxed out in a month. Right, and so even that wouldn't keep me held down. It's got to be like, something's got to change with this game to bring it back, and I don't see that happening. Alright, Thor and Liberty, if I had people to play with, I would play this game. I would probably main this game. If I had friends or even a guild to play with, I would absolutely play the hell out of this game. But it is not solo player friendly, and it's on its way out. The player count has dropped massively. I kind of missed the wave on this one, but again, this is one of those games where all the Korean content creators have years of experience over me, and I don't know, there's not a whole lot there's like almost nothing to do in this game as a solo player, so I just couldn't play it. And you can see, like this would be the game to play for me, right? Because there's almost no competition, 2 million searches. This is 4 times more than Albion, right? This is a gold mine for content creators. But you can see here, like, the game spiked up and it's immediately flatlining, and it's still continuing a downward decline, barely above Albion. Yeah, people want to know how to play Thor and Liberty because it's a complex and confusing game, right? And so there's still a lot to teach people. I have, even myself as a new player in Thor and Liberty, I looked up guides and they were all subpar with wrong information. Once I played the game for about 40 hours, I figured, oh, this guy didn't know what the hell he was talking about. He just wanted to make a video with all the search terms. And I hate that. I hate that so much, dude. But yeah, I could definitely milk this game for guides, right? But it's on its way out, and I have no one to play with, so I have no reason to even... I make guides for games that I want to play in the future, so that I don't forget how to play them, alright? Because I feel like I wasted a lot of my youth playing Age of Empires only to forget everything, okay? But the point is that, you know, if I just had some friends to play with, man, this channel would be way different. So, Enlisted is a game that I've always had interest in, and I did enjoy playing it off YouTube, but hackers kind of ruined it for me, and, you know, with my money situation the way it is, I couldn't afford to cover it. But I might try again in 2025. I might try. I just downloaded it for Steam. I know I have a leveled account on the main client, but I want to start over so that I can, you know, go through the game as a new player once again and see what kind of guides I could make for it. And I know it doesn't have the highest player count or search counts, but I need a fun game, damn it. But looking at these numbers, ooh, man, I don't think I can afford to play it. And why is this game? It has less search counts than Albion with a high competition Enlisted game. I don't know, man. Like, I can't afford to play these games. Like, here's Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen. Just came out, 165,000 search counts, very low competition, so no one's YouTubing this game. But this game is paywall. It's like $40. I've tried to get a copy. No one's given a copy out. And you can see this game is like, it's barely like rising from the grave right now. It's like, Albion is 47 times more popular than Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen. But yeah, maybe in 2025, I might try political videos because they do so well on YouTube. Like this Liberal Hive Mind channel, he's getting hundreds of thousands of views per video. He can crank out like 3 of these a day. And again, I need money bad. And yes, even smaller channels that switch to political mode, they get tons of views. Like, look at Stay Safe, 4.6 million views. That's crazy. That's insane. And you can see, like, before he was doing video game content, getting, like, 6K views, 10K views, etc. Switches to political content, you know, it's getting 60K views, 14K views. You know, there's some big ones in here, like 100K views here. Like, it's time for me to switch, right? And the reason I'm not subscribed is because I was in his Discord community, but he has a furry as a Discord Janny, and they muted me for a day for posting anti-furry Team Fortress 2 video clips, so that's a no for me, dog. I'm sorry. You're a cool dude, but the people you surround yourself with aren't that cool. And real quick, just to peek under the hood, let me explain. So my monthly expenses, this is as cheap as I can get it, all right? This is the cheapest flood-damaged ghetto apartment I can afford. And again, before this, I was doing van life, but I got too sick to do that. And living as Spartan as possible, as in eating the bare minimum rice and beans. And I recently upgraded to tortillas because I learned that El Salvadoran prisoners, they eat beans and rice and tortillas. And I'm like, I've been eating worse than an El Salvadoran prisoner. So yes, I did upgrade that. But so again, food and bills, and I don't even own a phone. I have no unnecessary bills. I have no Netflix subscriptions or anything of the sort, okay? I pay electric, water, rent, trash, and again, food. I don't even own a car, so I don't pay insurance on a car. I don't have health insurance. I literally, this is as cheap as I can live, okay? This is as cheap as possible I can live without going full homeless. I average $1.67 an hour doing YouTube, and I do it 19 hours a day. Every day. And maybe I'll take, like, I think I took 4 weeks of break this month. All right. So after taxes, I earn about $761.52 a month. And then channel memberships is a good chunk of that. That's about $400 extra. That's people that click the join button down below for $5 a month. They get access to private, more personal videos, which is all market flipping stuff for Albion viewers. All right. So I'm losing $1,000 a month, and I have savings built up when I was a wagey, when I worked in retail. So my savings, I worked 13 years in retail, starting at $5 an hour back in the day. I worked 40-hour work weeks. Eventually, I started working 50 and 60-hour work weeks, and I was promoted over the years to 1950. That's management, which became salary-based, but it's still average 1950 an hour for the 60 hours I was putting into a week. Now, I lived with my parents for most of the time, and my monthly expenses were only $200 because, you know, I helped them out. This is back when rent was really cheap and food was way cheaper than it is now, okay? So, again, you know, it was way cheaper to live, especially when you lived with parents that were alive, right? And I saved as much as this as I could. You know, if I'm only spending $200 a month, I didn't go out, I didn't buy games or movies, I didn't upgrade my clothes or anything, and I didn't buy anything fancy at all. You know, just random expenses here and there, like car repairs, or I had some health issues that I had to take care of that bit into my savings. But working in retail, I did have health insurance and, you know, all that kind of stuff, so it did kind of help lower the expenses. I saved as much of this as I could before getting fired for chasing a shoplifter. So yeah, I do have, you know, savings to try to get me through this YouTube journey, and I'm 6 years deep into YouTube. And, you know, if I'm, you know, when I started YouTube, I wasn't making $1.67 an hour. I was making almost nothing, right? So you have to imagine, you know, with a $2,200, you know, living expense, and, you know, the years before YouTube kicked off, and it still hasn't technically kicked off because I'm in the red still, you can see that I'm starting to massively run out of savings very quickly, very, very fast. And so, you know, in order to keep doing YouTube and making guides and stuff, I have to play or do something on the channel that will generate me enough money to just survive, okay? And, yeah, like, I don't know what else to do. So, if you suddenly see the channel switch over to random politics videos, or I might even do fitness videos. I was thinking about doing some fitness videos, too. I've got to do something different because gaming isn't working. I haven't been making any friends playing these games, and the whole point was to make some damn friends. If I just had a group of friends to play with, I'd just go work at Taco Bell or something and never get anywhere in life, but at least I get to experience having a life with friends, which is better than nothing, right? So I don't know what to do, guys. But yeah, do let me know, what game do you want to see in 2025? Let me know, and don't say your stupid bullshit indie game. Every time I ask this question in videos, there's some dickhead that's working for an indie game dev company that has like 300 searches a month on his crappy pixel 2D roguelike procedurally generated game. It's like, you should play this game. Or there's some dickhead that's like, you should play this 15 to 20-year-old game that no one's playing anymore. Wow, you know, every time I go play an old retro game, I get no views, okay? So what current, popular, and new game do you want to see me play in 2025? Let me know in the comments. Click the video on the right side of your screen. And if you don't, I will surely die in the next 2 months. I'm just going to die. It'll be your fault. And then I'm going to haunt you. I'm going to poltergeist your place, and I'll scare away all the girls. That's right. I'm going to scare away all the girls in your life.